LA Mayor Karen Bass is proving to be one of the worst leaders that America has. The mayor promised voters before being elected that she wouldn't travel overseas. She told the New York Times, "Not only would I, of course, live here, but I also would not travel internationally."
I don't like clowns. Let's play it again.
Jackhole.
Have to keep people safe, no looting, zero tolerance for looting. That's why these guys are out here, and I'm very grateful for them, particularly for these critical checkpoints that allow law enforcement to move more mobily and do the interior work.
This just happened.
Walgreens announced it would be closing 12 stores in San Francisco in the final week of February, with a statement reading in part, quote, "Increased regulatory and reimbursement pressures are weighing on our ability to cover the costs associated with rent, staffing, and supply needs. It is never an easy decision to close a store." Off camera, workers say the pharmacy and retail chain is telling them the pharmacy side of the business is underperforming. Customers also point to rampant theft at some locations. We captured this video of a man walking out of the Geary Walgreens with a suitcase full of beer and food that workers inside were saying he hadn't paid for.
What does true leadership look like?
Just know anybody out there that thinks they're going to take advantage of this situation, you got another thing coming to you. We are not going to tolerate any looting, any types of criminal activity on the backs of people that suffer damage on these storms. Obviously, we wouldn't accept it anyways, but we actually have even stronger enhanced penalties when people try to do this stuff on the heels of a major storm like this.
LA Mayor Karen Bass is proving to be one of the worst leaders that America has. The mayor promised voters before being elected that she wouldn't travel overseas. She told the New York Times, "Not only would I, of course, live here, but I also would not travel internationally."
Can't believe a word they say, you know that. I mean, they're born liars.
But where was she when the most devastating fires in LA's history broke out? In Ghana. And what was she doing there? She was on a taxpayer-funded trip to attend the inauguration of Ghana's incoming president, because that's really important, and that's what serving the people of LA really looks like. But this isn't the only occasion that Karen Bass broke her promise. While mayor, she took an overseas trip to Mexico for another inauguration. She flew to Paris for the Olympics. And does Karen Bass regret being in Ghana while LA was on fire, while residents were forced to flee their homes while they burnt to the ground?
Looking back, would you have taken that trip overseas?
You know, I am going to focus today
but please,
on what we know.
Oh, so your plan is to not take this seriously at all?
The scale of the devastation from these fires is hard to comprehend. At least 24 people have died and 23 are missing. The largest fire in the Pacific Palisades has burned more than 95 square kilometres and is right now only 14% contained. Countless homes and buildings have been reduced to rubble and conditions are expected to worsen. And under Karen Bass's so-called leadership, the budget for the LA Fire Department was cut by $18 million last year, which is actually less than her initial proposal, because initially Karen Bass thought it would be a good idea to cut it by more than $23 million, while making sure there was more money for the Civil and Human Rights and Equity Department so a transgender cafe could go up, which tells you exactly about where her priorities have been as mayor. Now, who was it that endorsed Karen Bass? Former President Barack Obama.
Of course he did.
Evil so singularly personified.
You've always been on the right side of the issues that we care so deeply about.
Thank you.
And I'm confident you're going to be an outstanding mayor of LA.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much.
you know, but as you know, you got to run through the tape.
Exactly.
So you got a little more work to do.
Exactly.
But I'm really proud of you and grateful for your friendship. More importantly, grateful for the service you've rendered all these years and all the stuff you're going to do in the future.
Well, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me, and it means the world of Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
Maybe the New York Post are a bunch of pussies and a bunch of libtards.
The New York Post is very...
It is a messed up world.